Good morning, everybody. A lot of times people kind of forget what about those incarcerated that they can change, that there is programs that actually can better themselves. And I wanted to go through some of the classes that I went through just for an example, so that you have some idea. A lot of people say that I didn't change for whatever reason. I know that I did, and it's partly because of my relationship with Christ. Um, this is the one I got out here though. This is the Columbus Leadership Academy that you learn about leadership. But I got that. I went through that class since I've been out. But um, here's a certificate that I got. It's from the Horizon Initiative Program. It's an interfaith program that recognizes all faiths, that you learn about forgiveness, you learn about accountability. Each faith has their own like worship service or whatever you want to call it. It was on like Tuesday mornings. This was when I was at Marion Correctional. Jeff Hunsinger led this program. A good friend of mine who I still stay in contact with today. And I would say this was the beginning of my change, the way I started changing. I didn't like anybody for whatever religion they were. If they weren't my religion, they were wrong. That was my thinking. I said my opinions, but um, that doesn't make me that I'm right. Okay, another certificate of completion I got from Transforming Life, Marion Correctional Institution, March 27, 2007, through June 26, 2007. It's through Prison Fellowship. I just, briefly hold them up so that people have some idea. Um, this was certificate of completion, spiritual formation graduate for completion of the 16-week spiritual formation program. A guy came in and taught this. I believe he lived in Columbus area. Then, anybody that knows me, I was pretty sick when I was at Marion, the last few years of my sentence. But this is a picture of my parents and myself um, during the graduation of Horizon Initiative. Um, um, and then I got a certificate of victims awareness. I'm just going to read these off to you. It's easier than me trying to hold them up. Um, I'll read some of the letters at the end. Um, you know, I'll read this letter that I got from the Cleveland City Mission. I'm writing on to express my support of Marion Correctional inmate, and then my number, Mr. James Cromer, and his bid for release through his upcoming June 2009 parole board hearing. Mr. Cromer has been in regular and good communications for many of the years of his incarceration. At one point, James also successfully completed a residential program before he was reincarcerated, and he would be welcome to return. And let me explain about the return to prison. Yes, I made some phone calls that was sexual that I should not have made. Um, when you push somebody into so much stress by harassing them, when they get released from prison, and I'm not ever giving that an excuse, but the way society treats people, they are pushing people to the limit. And people can only take so much to the limit. Okay, let me finish reading this. It says, considering the length of time that James Cromer has been incarcerated, I would ask and give my support to you granting his parole at this time should James come to the city mission again. I believe our program would be of great benefit in providing him the support and stability that he will need to readjust and become situated again into his life, normal community. Regardless of his coming here, I hope that that our communication will continue long after his release. I also pastor Broadview Baptist Church in Cleveland near West Side. I know James would be welcome to worship with us, and he would provide whatever encouragement and support we were able to give him and his family. That was from Brent Richards. And I might, at this point, I might as well read the one that Jeff Hunsinger did for me from Horizon. It said, Mr. Cromer graduated from the Horizon Interfaith program at Marion Correctional Institution on June 1st, 1996. Um, Horizon is a program designed to promote character reformation through spiritual growth. Horizon is the first interfaith program within this correctional environment, and there are 48 participants in the program: 37 Christians, 1 Jewish, 7 Islamic, 2 Wicca, 1 Buddhist. The participants live in small family groups of 6 men. This arrangement encourages the live in small community groups of, the building of community within a small family group. Each person is encouraged to grow in his own faith and is given diverse tools to accomplish this goal. Each participant is taught other than faiths which limit tolerance and respect among the faith groups. The program is 10 months in duration, running from August through May, and has several core components to aid in the fulfillment of its derived purposes. Awakening is a 36-week journey with weekly 1.5 hour sessions created for correctional settings. It is designed to equip residents with life skills by educating them with tools to substantially connect with self, others, and God. Residents will increase their ability to make ethical choices and take responsibility for their life by discovering, deciding, and actualizing their existence. The curriculum included by discovering curriculum includes exercise and activities on the topic of worldviews, freedom of choice, responsibility, knowing thyself, the art of healing, relationships, and the zero within. Faith-specific program each week teaches the fundamental of faith important to each residential declared religion. This program is presented in an interactive seminar setting facilities by training clergy. Each resident attends the weekly chapel services during the entire program cycle. Kairos prayer and share meetings each week, which are attended by Horizon residents, also allows them to interact with the larger faith community inside the prison, as well as interact with the outside volunteers in the context of spiritual music, prayer, and focal points, scriptures, and medications and discussions. Building communities is designed to address in a community environmental faith and religion. And that is really neat that Jeff Hunsinger really helped me out with this. Another certificate I took is Certificate of Completion, MCI Branch Red Cross, the American Red Cross Back Injury Prevention Health Training module on this day, and that was in 2008. Then awarded, the Certificate of Completion awarded Basic Sewing Machine Operation Class. I still don't even know how to turn on the sewing machine, so I don't know how I passed that. Another one is American Red Cross Certificate of Appreciation. James Cronin has recognized a valuable contribution of time and effort as an MCI Branch Red Cross Disaster Action Team member. What that means is we went and cleaned up blood spill and other bodily fluids that happened during a murder, death, suicide, or whatever. The nurses were not going to do it, so they trained us. The nurses did not feel they were good, that we were beneath them, and we should have to do stuff like that, which I had no problem with, though. This is my mother came to the Kairos outside thing when Marion had it, and I'm not, as my mother's name down there and my name down. It was Kairos outside 11, May 16th through the 18th of 2008. I still have that program there. Then I have the graduation of Horizon. It's at Warden Maggie Beetler, Deputy Warden Jason Bunning, Horizon Dorm Lock Officers Kramer and Meeting, don't remember them though. Kelly, Unit Manager Kelly Lyons, Chaplain Reverend Coley Murphy, Reverend Chidham Smith, Chaplain Jack Swartz, Deacon Bob Neely, Iman, which is the Islamic faith. I can't pronounce his name though. Jack, okay, Reverend Mark Butler, volunteer, and that's who really helped us with the Horizon. Another specific guided completion of the ASL sign language. I took sign language. Red Horse, as many of you may know, he's Native American. His real name is Anthony Driscoll, but he taught me sign language. I'm pretty good at it today. This is the advanced sign language I took now. That was what that other one was for. Okay, outstanding achievement in the basic American sign. Oh, that's another one. I took like 4 things on sign language. Certificate of completion, Catholic Christianity. Yeah, it was for Catholics. I'm not Catholic, but I went through that program just to learn respect for other faiths. The MCI branch, American Red Cross, certifies that James Cromer has successfully completed the requirements of officers training class. Yes, I was an officer in the Red Cross. Well, not really an officer, I was part of the disaster team. Dave Ward, a good friend of mine, and Mike Sahady. Dave Ward, who I still stay in contact with, was the chairman of the Red Cross. Mike Sahady was the vice president. I took financial planning, that's what another certificate got. Awakening, we just talked about that through Horizon. I got that. The State of Ohio, Department of Rehabilitation Corrections, certifies, and of course they wrote it out, they didn't type it out. I took anger management. MCI branch, American Red Cross, recognizes as a member of emergency services. Again, that's to get recertified. Let's see. This has successfully completed. See, I took victims awareness twice because I actually liked the class and I thought it was helpful. American Red Cross, on CPR, adult and infant, and then certificate of completion. This is on financial grant, Money Smart. I took that twice. Garden Help Wanted, religious service, okay, because I worked in the garden, that was my passion. Here's another pro board letter. If you want an idea how to do a pro board letter, let me read this. I'm going to leave out, the name of the person that wrote it though. It says, to whom it may concern, I'm writing on this letter on behalf of my brother, James D. Cronenberg. Okay, well, that's for my sister though, who is incarcerated in an Ohio prison in Marion, Ohio. I have not been able to visit my brother in the past few years as I live in Texas, but I have continued to keep in contact through letters and occasional phone calls. From what he has told me, he has taken the opportunity to participate in programs offered to him while he has been in prison. Some of these include Victims Awareness, the Horizon program. In my opinion, his efforts to educate and better himself is truly an indication of his intentions to become a productive member of society where he is released. He also has participated in planting, maintaining one of the largest flower gardens in the facility at Marion Correctional. I hope the board can weigh the evidence of Jim's efforts to change his ways and better himself. Okay, I'm not going to read the whole letter, it's just too long. But that was for my sister. Here's one from, oh, wow. This is from a good friend of mine, Jerry. And he means the world to me, he really does. I'm writing today to ask for the consideration of granting parole to James Cronenberg, a prisoner at Marion Correctional. Over the past several years, I became friends of Jim and believe that he is in person worthy of your consideration for release in 2009. Since his incarceration, Jim has sincerely worked through the issues behind his previous actions. He has accepted full responsibility for his crimes, has developed a personal plan for improvement of his character and lifestyle. In my years in ministry as a pastor, I have dealt with several people who needed to make changes in their life. I have seen those who have talked the talk and not changed. I do not believe this is the case with Jim. I find him to be a man sincerely sorry for his misdeeds of the past, and determined to live a and new and different life beyond prison. During his time praying for his victims, he has shown himself to be a positive influence on other inmates. He has further enrolled and participated in several programs, including Victims Awareness, Anger Management, and the Horizon program, to develop a new life plan. I believe he now deserves a chance to prove himself outside of Marion. From my conversation, I know Jim will seek a place to live away from his previous residence at a place where he will be able to make a positive contribution to society and remain accountable. That was from my good friend Jerry, and another lady from a lady who just died at the age of 100. I'm not going to read. Um, One from a pastor that was at my parents' church. Um, I got a letter from him as well. And some more certificates. I got certificate of completion, Red Cross again for your help in making the gardens flourish. Okay, that's because I worked in the garden. Then I had blood-borne pathogens. I actually was certified to teach that eventually, but I never did. Adult CPR again. I wonder what this is here. I bet you never thought that NAACP would give you money for your birthday, on your birthday. Okay. Then of course, there's a picture of a dollar sign. That's from the NAACP. I was good friends with a lot of people. Then Cancer Basics I took, class in Cancer Basics. American Red Cross again, 246 hours. In 2006-2007 volunteer year, August, okay. The NWCP, for your successful leadership dynamics. I took that class. Let's see, okay, the MCA Branch Red Cross again. James Cronenberger, that is Garden Flourish, another Garden Flourish one, because I was over the 7-yard garden, which one of those that was disabled. We had flowers. My last year there, we had a garden on the side where we had peppers and stuff. That's actually where I learned to like peppers, was from that garden. And then MCI Branch Certificate of 5 years membership in good standing. This is from Red Cross again. So certificate of appreciation is awarded to in recognition of valuable contribution of time and efforts as an MCI Branch Red Cross Disaster Action Team member. Okay, then this is James Carr, 690 hours in the 2009-2010 volunteer year. Let's see, what is it? Medical aid pass, okay. NCI branch of the NWCP. Got a certificate from them. Then emergency response course. Then I took a course on preventing disease transmission since I was part of the disaster team there. This was participation and completion of Thinking for a Change, program that I took. I'll be honest, some of the state programs were not really, the best, but I did get more out of those that was taught by, residents at Marion and at the other, other places. I even wrote proposals for the garden. I was really excited. There's nothing like working in the garden and showing how God helps everything grow in a glorious way. But the last, I guess I could say a couple of years, there's been some advocates and some people that said, oh, Cronenberg didn't change. Look at his past. Well, so are you saying to me that the power of Christ within you cannot change you? Nancy Coe would be interviewing me at our Cleveland protest on, because I've always claimed that I was wrongfully convicted. So I'll explain it to you when um, I do the interview with Nancy. And I tell you, I'm sad that I went to prison, but I'll say this. If I wouldn't have gone to prison, I would not have the compassion for those that are in prison, most likely. Now, I do remember as a child, I was probably in high school. Chaplain, wait a second, the Chuck Colson's ministries would send me a list of inmates to write. And of course, I was like 14 or 15. My mom didn't know that I was writing inmates. Well, when she found out, she had to read every letter that I got. They were honest to me about their crimes, and I didn't really think anything about it because I was so young. But when I got locked up, I realized that really anybody could be accused of a crime they did not do. Something did happen in my case, but it was a misdemeanor, and that was dropped. And then, of course, I was charged and convicted of a felony. And a lot of this would be in detail, in the interview from Nancy. And most of you probably already know my past. I've shared before. I shared my testimony on how God has changed my life. Feel free to check out our website at www.changestartswithusohio.org. Again, that is www.changestartswithusohio.org. Our email is changestartswithusohio@gmail.com. Changestartswithusohio@gmail.com. Good people. Change has to come within. We could go out there and tell anybody we changed, but I'm a firm believer that you have to prove yourself. I've been out 10 years, did not reoffend. I stay attached to positive people that care about those that are locked up, by people that have a good influence on myself. I still have a mentor in Jeff Hunsinger, who was my advisor with Horizon. And, I'm really honored that he would still be my friend. John Edgar at the United Methodist Church for All People. Same Greg Henneman, who is now the senior pastor. And even our board members, Candace Sanchez, I call her on a regular basis, Jerry Vaughn, Nancy Coe. I was going to say Alan Stapleton, but he blocked me. I did kind of look up to him, knowing I did a lot more years and stuff, but he understood. And he just, I don't know what happened there. We were locked up for very similar things. And, we just had to make the sacrifice to change. It should not even be a sacrifice, it should be an automatic thing. But lots of prayer, lots of love, and lots of compassion is what it takes to succeed in this life. Have a great day, everyone.